I'm Leviathan Blues, and welcome back. Last episode we cleared out the old infrastructure and mapped out our plans for our city. Districting out industries, planning cargo transport, and sketching key areas. We designated out farmland, forestry, oil, and ore zones, ensuring that our industries are strategically placed. Next, we planned our harbor and cargo hubs, with rail terminals set up to keep our logistics efficient. Finally, we outlined our main city center, suburbs, industrial zones, and smaller towns. I went ahead and neatened up the districts to more clearly define those areas. With the blueprint set, it's time to start building. Today we'll grid out our first town and set up essential services. Let's get started. Today we're starting work on Small Town A. It'll be inspired by Western Pennsylvania. This town will grow organically around the train station, reflecting how historic rail towns were developed. First things first, we need outside connections so people can start moving in. We'll begin by connecting the National Highway to outside connections and laying out some roads. I'm going for an organic layout, some odd branches where people naturally traveled, and then we'll use the grid tool to fill in around it. Collector roads were probably an afterthought at a town like this, but we'll add a couplet later. Create a few cul-de-sacs here and there to fill in the odd spaces. Let's add an at-grade crossing. I don't love how close it is to the intersection here, so we'll leave an alleyway to represent the old road, curve another street to shift the intersection further away. Then we'll extend the grid outward, incorporating angled roads, roundabouts, and a few cul-de-sacs. Now let's connect the odd section and extend the roadway toward the mapped edge. Before we go any further, we'll need power to the town. Checking the wind speed. It looks pretty good everywhere. This riverbank seems like the best spot for these wind turbines. I'll use my no sidewalk 2-lane road to get over there. and then add a dirt road following the river to place them on. A few of these should be enough for now. I checked the groundwater levels, but there is none. Instead of a water pump, I'll place a water tower near the train station. Historically, older trains needed water, and it fits with the town's aesthetic. For now, sewage will go into the river. It's not ideal, but we'll set up a proper waste treatment later. Now that utilities are handled, let's add some essential services. I'll start small. A UK-style medical practice next to the national road should do. For fire coverage, I'll place the UK fire station near the tracks to minimize noise pollution. And then a UK police station near the rail station to complete the basics. For education, the base game elementary school fits well. Since this area will be mostly residential, I'll place it here and add a playground nearby. For the high school, I want to leave room for sports fields, so across the road seems like a good spot. The Southwest High School looks nice, but it's too big for this area, so I'll go with the Northeast one. I'll add the capacity expansion, one of the park football fields, and some parking around it. Garbage services aren't needed yet, so let's move on to parks. Basketball courts near the high school makes sense. And of course, we need the obligatory dog park, so I'll place a big one. Now, let's get some zoning in. The street in front of the train station was likely the original main street, so I'll zone in some northeast style commercial and mixed use residential here. I'm not sure why these cranes sometimes turn sideways on me. That's pretty funny to see. But anyways, for better height control, I will manually plop some of these buildings. Then using the UK low-density detached housing for some of the first low-density homes. For variety, I'll place row homes in the corners and separate the buildings with concrete and parking. The goal is to make everything feel cozy, but not too rigid. Now, for the highway connection, I want more interesting interchanges in this series. I'm going to use a design I saw on Pekana's channel, link in the description if you want to check out his breakdown. First, I'm replacing the temporary highway to get a proper 90-degree connection. I'll set up some guide roads for even spacing, match slopes on both sides of the connection, and measure space for widening the road. Next, I'll expand the highway for the exit lanes, add ramps, and shape the loops. Using Move It, I'll adjust the angles, smooth the terrain, and finish the connection with roundabouts at each end for better traffic flow. Finally, removing the traffic lights for crossing should keep everything running smoothly. I'll tidy this up later. But for now, let's extend the arterial road out to the national road and add a post office and some mailboxes. Alright, we got a grid laid out, essential services in place, some population and business moving in, and key outside connections established. Next time, we'll keep expanding, refining traffic flow, and making this town feel even more alive. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and do the YouTube things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.